computer.
Hey!
Hey! Finally! Oh my God, I was waiting it, I don't know how many months to talk with you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
happy, finally. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What-
It. What's going on there?
That's, like a loaded question, doesn't it? Just this, whatever's happening.
It,
Yeah, baby sleeping,
it's like,
drinking tea.
oh, I have water. It's like when it was Christmas in my mother place, then sister and brother were telling about the trips and last year and everything, and I was like waiting that please don't ask me, please don't ask me whatever. And then, oh, Ere and Raigo, tell me you were in there and there and there, and yes, we were. Let's move on now. Like no interest of joking about what have apparently happened in this apparent past.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There can be some interesting stories coming up to share, but not like when it's pulled out.
Sure. Yeah, when it's prompted or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
It can't be like forced.
Right, right, right. Because then it's almost like you're trying to find what? I don't know.
Yeah. To which memory cloud to go to download
Mhm.
the information from this story of trip to Dominican or wherever.
Right, right. Yeah, it reminds me of a friend. We used to talk a lot on the phone and about, well, now looking back, it was just like a lot of the heavy, dramatic stuff that was happening, I guess. So she'd call me and just recently she calls and blah, 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 this and that and wow and whoa and whoo, and then she says, "So what's up with you?" And then it's like just laughing and then and I think it seems that might seem a little bit boring to her.
Yeah,
Then she stops calling.
yeah,
And there's no interest here to really call, so then I don't call her, and maybe that relationship has dissolved. I don't know. It's been a little while, but sometimes it seems that way with certain friendships, maybe that were based on drama or feeding some sort of like I'm gonna feed your stories of I don't know
yeah.
or
And
fixing.
confirming each other that our stories are true and my me is true and this happened to me or for you, and then reflecting back and forth these stories.
Yeah, yeah.
That it is true.
For some too, it's like I have my sister-in-law. There's it maybe it seems like for the relationships that seem like are like old spiritual relationships, those ones seem to have fallen away more because that was more based in heavy spiritual development and realness and kind of hierarchy and bettering and somehow the ones that like my sister-in-law, it's just like, oh, making bread and taking the kids here. Sometimes just the simplicity, those are easier and a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
fun or like just, whereas I used to judge her before for being gossipy. Even now, sometimes, um, if gossip comes up, like, okay, whatever, maybe just with that, who cares?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. We also noticed that these old friends we wasn't talking about many years. We didn't have anything to talk, although we were drinking high.
Oh.
And then the spiritual life came, and then this happened, and now it's like these old friends. We have much more to talk about. I don't know, just life, just this, but no stories about this self-development. And it seems like they are a little bit like better. Also, I felt better when I was doing this spiritual stuff and healing myself and others and the world and all this.
Yeah, that heavy burden of, I don't know, becoming and improvement and reaching somewhere and always getting closer to that thing, and there's so much activity in figuring whatever it is going out and what trauma it's related to, and then what practice to apply to it, or what am I not doing right, or what could I be doing more of, just the whole thing. Just energy and to do that. And now it's like just whatever is happening, just and yeah, with that there was a lot of busy work, a lot of busy work.
Yeah, lots of effort. Now it's just being whatever, effortless, and can't force anything.
Yeah, even and always measuring, always taking some sort of temperature on how well I'm doing, and am I more centered today, or am I less centered? Yeah. How good is my meditation today? And maybe there's something, how bad, there's always sort of measuring.
And comparing.
Yeah.
As there was like somewhere to reach, ultimately, to reach somewhere.
Yeah, and then with that, you're comparing experiences, past spiritual experiences, or times in your life when maybe you were more free or less free. And so then there's always a striving to get back to that, or closer to, always that movement of becoming. Yeah. And then maybe there's a message of there's no where to go, there's nothing to become, there's nothing to get, this is already it. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. At first it was awful to lose all the purpose of life, my life purpose, what I was just found, and what I'm going to do now. Yeah. We had also one friend at our place one day, and we wasn't seeing him long time, and he was telling the stories what have happened and so on, and then he finished and asked, what about you guys? I was hoping that Raigo starts to tell what's going on here, because there is no stories.
Yeah.
Although nothing wrong with the stories.
No. Yeah.
Simply being, because this is also the story we are sharing. Everything is already wake up. Yeah. Did we wake up? Yeah.
Did you sleep good, honey? You sleep good?
Sleepy a little bit. How is to raise the child? Can you compare like previously when there is story about Nikki with the older child?
Yeah, So it seems like maybe nothing changes in the sense of maybe there's still the same, what seems to come out is, oh, it's good for kids to be playing outside. Uh, do you know what I mean? So there's still this like um, way that the conditioning is to like outside and maybe not as much TV and maybe there's just a preference maybe for actually playing with certain toys or maybe certain modalities of parenting styles. Like there's a preference for all of those things still. And yet the all of the measuring and the neurotic energy around, is it not just right, or is there something wrong with them, or is there something wrong with me? Do we need to do it better or do it more or change it? You know, that kind of energy has changed. So that's just not there. So even if it doesn't look the way that the preference is, that's still okay too. And even if there's a little bit of, well, let's just say too much, let's say too much TV. There can still be like a, okay, time to turn the TV off, and then the kids, ah! There can still be this like, you know, I don't like that, but it's just who cares then after that, on to the next. So, and are reflecting back onto, oh, today was a shit day because we watched too much TV or something like that, you know. And, you know, I mean, I guess it's different because there isn't always this mirroring back of looking at the child and seeing all the ways that I am succeeding or all the ways that I'm failing. So that whole, in a way, then it's just kind of looking and seeing the mystery and the beauty of this being appearing, and wow, you know, just how you know, the words that they're learning to speak and the way that they play and the way that they are, and just there's much more, I think, of an enjoyment of them, or I don't know, an appreciation, or maybe you could call it love, but I don't know. I mean, and there's more play. I would say there's more play. You know, natural play. Not because I should play. It seems to be, why not? Yeah.
Feeling like kid again.
Yeah, totally. Like maybe and you can see that in a way, that reflection of children when they don't feel like you're trying to change them or always monitor them, then there's that reflection of freedom there too. So I've noticed maybe a change there of behavior, even in a way. Behavior can change when, yeah. And yet there's still unmanageability, and there can be frustration. And like yesterday, Thea fell down the stairs. First time ever. And just hearing it, and then immediately the body just the terror, and just running. I ran so fast I slid and hurt my hip to scoop her up, and just there, she's okay, but just that the immediacy and that full on fear. And yeah, it seems like nothing was moving in a way, or something was still, or, but yeah, I mean, it's everything. And
it seems like it's more easy to communicate or speak with children when you are in this open message, so to speak, than apparent others, adults, moms, maybe parents or friends.
yes, sometimes even, you know, certain like language, I think, that can be conditioned, like oh, bad behavior, good behavior. That was, you know, like my son will say, that thing I did, that was bad. And then I'll say, no, it's just, it's happened. So sometimes he'll say, that was, if he hears something on TV, he'll say, that's not bad, mommy, that's just that. Because I don't know, I mean, there's no need to hear. It just seems like, why not lessen the blow of those polarities of good, bad, right, wrong? Who cares? I mean, yes, they're still gonna be conditioned that way, and they'll still end up feeling separate. But if there can be, and I think maybe that's the preference too, if there's anything that plays out or comes out here that somehow doesn't make that more and more and more and more of a structured, firm thing, then why not? Yeah. It's not like it's not like you're not there. Like,
you can't teach this, but you can still have this communication as you are not doing it anyway. So this is the way the Rising the Child at Nikki's house is going on. No one is doing this. And
yeah.
I also have told my daughter when she had some, I don't know, stressful feelings about something. I said,
Yeah.
just happened, just to release this stress what she had, but also not telling that there is no you. But sometimes she have had this openness because she's already 15 years old, soon 16, so almost adult. When there is this openness a little bit, then we a little bit can talk about this also.
Yeah.
No need to teach anything or to change anyone or whatever.
Yeah, totally. It reminds me of like I was at this wedding and just started chatting. It seemed like there was some openness with a friend of mine, and he and I were just like talking, and I don't, you know, at one point it was like like this, along the same lines of, it's just what appears to be happening. It was like, well, he said, it is what it is. And I said, yeah, it is as it is. You know what I mean? Like sometimes even it is what it is can seem like you're, it's like, oh, it's like dismissive or something. It's like, but it is as it is. Somehow that the way that I hear that is, I don't know, it just feels a little bit.
As it is perfect, whatever it is.
It is as it is. It's not saying,
like
it's
accepting,
not,
like, oh yeah.
Well, it is what it is. Sometimes it's like a victim thing. Oh, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, but it is as it is kind of lighter. It feels lighter. And he like took out his phone and like wrote it down or wrote it in his phone. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, something there resonated, I guess. Yeah.
This kind of talks end quite quickly when there is no resonance or openness to this, and then it's like short talk.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes it's still coming up, and this is just a story, but I think then there may be very little openness to this. Otherwise this energy won't come out. I think this is a story, I don't know, but maybe it happens there a couple of years later or never, I don't know, this wide openness for this. But yeah, because with some this communication happens sometimes,
Yeah.
and with others it never happens.
Right.
It's just like there is no resonance, no openness.
Yeah.
So when it happens, and then there is some kind of problems after that, no talking or breaking the phone or whatever, then there can be some thought arising that, oh shoot, why I started this, or but then it's fading away. No guilt or not thinking about days about this, that why it just
Right.
happened somehow. It just happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and I start to see this, that people are saying that this is nihilistic way. Yeah, it can see like this when you say for everything that, oh, it just happened, it's just what happens. It's like saying that you are never wrong, but there is no right also.
Yeah. Or I can remember when it seems like it's being used as a tool or as a practice, like applied non-duality, where there's suffering or there's something, that's not desired. And then in the story of Nikki too, it was like just like a mantra, it became, in a way, like, to whatever, it's just what's happening, it's just what's happening. And then there was just the falling away of that, like there's no need for a mantra.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, the it can be heard as like that, like somehow dismissive, but it's actually all inclusive, all encompassing, or all embracing, because there's nothing outside of it.
I wanted to say that exactly the same thing. Yeah.
It's not negating anything.
It doesn't say that this is wrong. This shouldn't be like this. Whatever it is, it's perfect as it is, as it arises for no one. Perfect. Even, sorry, the war. It sounds awful, but
Yeah.
this is freedom. This is unconditional love.
Yeah.
There are no conditions how this should be. This, whatever it is. Who knows? Who is separate from that to know what he's speaking about?
Yeah. Yeah. It takes one to know that it shouldn't be a certain way. Yeah. And it does feel like that. It feels like love. Just whatever arising, it is as it is. And there's no problem with it, even if it's, whatever. Frustration, fear.
Yeah. Before there was always the story, the meaning, the reason why this is happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are no cause and effect.
Yeah. Yeah. No, of course not. Oh boy. Let's see. Woo.
What's there? It's 6:11.
What's that?
Is it 11 there?
Yep, it's 11. Yeah.
So early lunch sleep.
Yeah, she woke up a little bit early, and then so she took an earlier nap. Yeah.
And I couldn't talk then. Sorry.
No.
At the same time, like yesterday, I got this message that I can talk right now. If you can, I thought, yeah, about after hour I will talk with Nikki, and yes, we can. And then you wrote, I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's so good that you find the time.
Yeah.
Did you play with the clay?
What's that?
Did you play with the clay you got for Christmas?
Yeah, I've been trying to make some stuff, but I'm still learning how to center it and how to I'm getting better at it. And it's fun to practice, but I used to do it years ago, and then I just kind of forgot all of the yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not very easy. I have tried once very long time ago, but it's moving all the time and it can go so wrong so quickly.
Yes, yeah. So it's the leaving, yep, sort of using your body as a way to stabilize the clay. Yeah. And always sort of applying a certain kind of a pressure. It just feels really fun, and it just feels, I don't know, a little bit, I don't know. It just feels a little bit, yeah. It's nice.
You're doing lots of art also. Did you do it before also, or you are now more creative?
Yeah. No, I think I was always like interested but now a lot of more energy has been freed up to just
Do whatever.
to do whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's an enjoyment there, or because why not? And all the energy isn't going towards whatever else, so almost like certain things that you felt like you needed to do or had to do to be your version of a good you. When that sort of falls, then there's just the natural how the character kind of wants to operate. So that's fun. Yeah.
That's the freedom. Also, not doing anything as
Yeah,
as
totally.
I experienced my last trip. We didn't basically nothing. Usually, we are really active. We driving. We want to see many places. We want to be very active, and so we have lots of experience after to tell others or for ourselves. And now, when someone was asking, "How was the trip? What are you doing?" Well, basically, we answered all the time, "Nothing. We are doing nothing." And this was the best vacation ever. The weather was so good, and doing nothing, like no guilt or shame because of that. Just beautiful to be whatever.
That's so, yeah, I could never rest or do nothing before, which makes it seem like there is a before, but
In a story.
always too much. I don't know. I guess it was this a story about how you're not doing enough, or you're wasting your time, or you're should something else, or you're just even energetically, it felt like you can't sit here. You can't just sit here.
And it feels so heavy. All these thoughts or what you should and shouldn't do. How to be this story of Vere or Nikki, this storybook. Act a certain way.
Yeah, even with like meditation. Well, that now you should sit. And as soon as you're like, you should sit, now you don't want to sit. Now you want to do something else, or so this the whole thing of seemingly forcing yourself.
Have you meditated now also?
So it's like if it just happens naturally, just looking out the window, or kind of like a spontaneous, I don't know if I would even call it that, but nice just to not do anything. Like you're saying, doing nothing. Yeah. But do I set a timer? And no. But I still do yoga, you know what I mean? If the body feels like it wants to stretch, or I don't know, it's like just what happens and feels good.
Yeah, same here. I'm back at the gym. Haven't been there almost 1 year when all this happened and collapsed and whatever. And but I have, or this body have always been active, and somehow I was like missing the gym and being active, but here was no energy, or I don't know, we call it motivation also, but yeah, no energy to go and to do this. Before here was lots of goals, and now it's like nothing. Like at first, I even was afraid that maybe I turn out 200 kilos when when there is no one who is controlling what to eat and how much to practice the weight trainings and so on. But of course, I know that you can't control anything, whatever is happening. But it seems like this body is used to be in some kind of condition, some kind of strength and fitness, whatever the size, and it doesn't go wider or smaller. Although I tried 10 or 15 years to become smaller and smaller, but I couldn't. It didn't happen here. It was so much effort and stressful. It's not worth of it. So good to be free of all these thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, and that the thoughts really never had any influence on it. Seems like they did. But
yeah, but they made it much more worse, because when you didn't go to the gym, then there was lots of guilt, and then was going to I don't know, eat less or whatever. The mind is coming with the new thoughts or new conclusions that you are thinking that these are yours doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, there's freedom there for sure. And it's
I have also one friend who is teaching yoga and who is not there anymore. And I don't know how he's doing right now, but at first she was telling that she can't teach this theoretic part. She love yoga, but all this whatever is, I don't know about yoga, but there is theory about everything, how to do it, the history, the chakras, all of this.
Yeah.
But the workout is very, very good. I think I should try also, because I'm not very flexible.
Yeah, it's there's right up the street, there's a yoga class that I was going to last winter. And it was actually like a 12-step recovery yoga. So it was specifically for like alcoholics and drug addicts and stuff. And then they would use certain lingo, like, surrender, or I don't know, just a lot of different stuff like that. So I went because some of my friends were there, and but all of that stuff didn't seem to make much sense anymore. And then there was like a sharing part where you could just share. So mostly when you can kind of hear that, like what people are sharing are, this is my problem. This is the solution I'm trying to apply to it. This is how far I've come. This is what I would like to do better. This is my pain and this is my suffering. It's just the same sort of cyclical. Everybody's kind of saying similar, singing a similar song or whatever. And I just remember I was just sharing. This just energy came and it was like, yeah, I don't know, but it's just sitting, shitting, fucking, doing that. Just these verbs or these, what are they, adjectives of like, and everybody's like, hmm? I'm like, well, maybe I won't share. Maybe I'm not going to share here anymore. But I mean, it was just nice to go and to kind of be around people and to, yeah, it's when it's obviously seen that it's only just this activity or sort of thinking or just wow. I mean, that's just so wow. But yeah. Mm.
So are you going again now?
No, I don't know. I just stopped going and I thought maybe if I feel like it, I will at some point, but I just haven't felt like it. You know what I used to do a lot of is I used to walk a lot. But because I was doing it to somehow manage my image, then that sort of fell away. So now I kind of just like today it's really warm, so we're gonna go hiking outside. But there isn't any more like, you have to do these things to maintain some kind of thing. It's like, who cares?
Just for fun. Everything is
Yeah,
just fun.
just for enjoyment. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We still do it. But maybe this gym thing fell away because of that, because I was doing it 5-6 years, like maintaining this story about Tere being fit and this
Yeah, yeah.
didn't have any meaning at all. There was no one, no Ere anymore. But still was here. Like I want to go, I want to move, and to do this heavy stuff. And now we have been this week 3 times. It's with husband so good. Just move the body without any goal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Sometimes we just go out and there's these little scooters that are the kids' scooters, and I'll just like scooter really fast down the driveway and fly back and forth. Just the energy and the motion of playing and moving is just enjoyable.
You have this child, small child, and you can be with them child also. We are like too old here and adults and with husband, and we are also like 5 years old sometimes, like screaming, laughing. There is everything, and it's so fun. Like you can really scream or even cry, and then you are laughing, like you're like watching yourself from I don't know where. You're seeing this body doing something natural, purely naturally, for no reason, for no one to act certain way. It just happens. It's I don't know, so beautiful and raw. And also seeing you with your child and your Instagram, I really really love. And I wanted to thank you. Thank God I remembered that Nikki, you were the person that a good job when this process here was going on. Although
Yeah,
no one anymore, but this communication about radical non-duality, I didn't know anything about it. It just fall down to my lap, and I didn't know what to do with. I didn't know the meanings, the words, this communication. And I'm really, really grateful that in that time you were there, apparently, and we could chat about this.
Yeah.
So thankful, and I also love to share this message and do these talks and do long writings, emails, because I don't know, just doing for fun. Also,
Yeah.
but
Yes,
sometimes it doesn't happen. With someone, it happens.
yeah. I just remember suddenly seeing your writings and like all this joy. Just reading what you were writing and yeah. Yeah, then when we were first chatting, it was like already you were losing your ideas of I don't know. Yeah, the healing, yeah. 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 And that's how for here it was a lot. Well, you're losing everything, but the losing of like the beautiful love story with God or whatever, the loss of union with God or something like that is sort of, well, I could say it's almost like that started to fall away, but then all of the trying to have a relationship with God, it just sort of stopped on its own. That happened maybe a few years ago. All of a sudden there was no more prayer, no more energy going to that. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going by its own way. Here, it seemingly have started to change also a couple of years ago, but
Yeah.
I didn't know anything. And I feel lucky that I didn't know about this message, because then I would maybe start to seek this enlightenment. But here was no knowings about it, but I was noticing the change, that here something have changed here. It's completely different. As Ere was always waiting her birthday and Christmas, and suddenly it was like nothing special. What to wait, and no one special, and all these kind of things. But even then I didn't know anything about this message. So
Yeah.
this was the time when I was hearing this, when I was talking with you.
Yeah.
And you so nicely expressed that this is also it. Whatever was arising, like even this, what I'm going to do with this healing stuff, and I think you told that it can continue. You don't know. You didn't do it anyway.
Yeah.
So there was. I remember the relaxation that.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, yeah. Let's try. Maybe healing happens. Maybe it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Whatever is happening is natural beingness, authentic, whatever it is. No one is doing it. No one never did it. When it happens, it happens. When someone gets feeling that it is healed, then it's this.
Can you see?
But yeah.
Yeah,
Healing stuff. I remembered my mom, who I was healing. It was the same time when everything here collapsed, and she really need that. But here was like conflict, like I can do nothing if it doesn't happen, and here is no one. But yeah, it wasn't easy and so fun, all this process, but it's all the story right now.
Yeah, similarly, it was like I thought, well, how am I going to help people now? There's no one to help, but there wasn't anybody to help before. It was just helping. So it seems like the helping has sort of changed a little bit. There's no more, although there's no more a consistent, you need to, oh no. Let me see, Thea. It's okay, honey. Bring it to me now. Can I see it? Can I see it? Thank you. She just is dumping paint. It's all right, honey. So yeah, there was no more consistent helping of like giving direction. Do this, do this.
Like changing someone, you are not changing anyone. There is no one to change. But when there is asking help, then giving help may happen. And if it helps the dream, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, like I had this one girl who's who called me and was crying a lot about this and that, and I was just, you know, not really giving her anything at all. And then at one point I go, "Do you just want me to tell you to do something?" She's like, "Yes." I go, "Fine, go ahead and do this and do that and do this." And she's like, "Okay." So that's the words that just came. It's like, so you want something? Fine, go try this out or try that out. Okay, fine. Yeah, doesn't matter whether she does it or she doesn't do it. Doesn't matter. But another friend, I have a really good friend who's in prison, and you know, she would call because she was in prison and she was miserable. So I'd say, you need to, oh my God, I don't know, there's some like beautiful writings from like Auschwitz, like the Nazi concentration camp, of this one guy who was going to the gas chambers and he was dying, and he like wrote something like, on your way to the gas chamber, you have a choice to go free or to go enslaved. So this idea of choice. And so I used to write that to her in email. Like, well, you could be free while you're in prison, or you could feel sorry for yourself, but it's your choice. And when she just called me recently, I hadn't talked to her in a long time. I just said, you know, I'm sorry for putting that on you, like for making it seem like you should be happier in prison. And just like that, the energy of that openness, like the conversation just went how it went, and there wasn't anything on offer for her. And maybe there was like some suggestions that, you know, there's nobody having the thoughts, there's nobody, that those are just thoughts appearing, you know. And just that, it was like she emailed me a couple days later with saying that she has all this energy and like things seem to be. And so just there was that openness and somehow a resonance with that. Nobody's behind this. No. And what freedom? I mean, freedom from the burden of the worst things you've ever done, and freedom from the burden of the best things you've ever done. You've never done them, they've just happened. And yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah, you don't even need to be in a prison to feel like you are in a prison, or you even don't notice that this me is like the prison. When this collapse, then it's like freedom. Before, I don't know, it's like the cage, but you don't see this cage, the me world, the me illusion. At least here it was felt as burden and always something missing. Here was something missing, although everything seemingly is okay. But you can try everything. You can, I don't know, travel all over the world. You can be the richest person in the world also, but still feel this separateness and the lack that something is missing. So
Yeah.
no knowings will give you this, and this knowings just maintains this me illusion.
Yeah.
It don't bring you closer to what already is the case. Already is, and you can be free in the prison also.
Mm. Yeah, she was sort of talking about how the thing that she didn't like about herself was that she was having a lot of like codependent relationships. So she thought that she needed to, I don't remember. Oh yeah, with the detach.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said something like, what's wrong? What's wrong with attachment? You know, like maybe it's the case that this is attached and detached simultaneously. It's like there's no, you know, I mean, the thought that you could somehow let go of somebody or you change the relationship or make it less sticky, it's that will never go anywhere but around in a circle of I'm doing it and I'm not doing it and I'm doing it and I'm not doing it and I'm, you know, and that's yeah. And somehow it seems like when that circle of doing it or not doing it or doing it right or not, when that seems to stop, then the relationships seem to be free to just be as they are. So just conditioning playing itself out kind of, or I don't know. But it's different because that cycle again was like in, ooh. Yeah, that cycle of it seems like even with my marriage, it was always this cycle of I don't know how to explain it, but like we were doing really good and doing really bad and doing really good, kind of like that. And that can seem to stop, I guess. Now it's just doesn't seem like a cycle anymore. I don't know. It just seems like, okay, I got mad at him about whatever. And then
there is no story about like past that previously when I was seeing my husband and there was like some situation, then lots of stories came true that you did this 10 years ago, da, 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 da. Now it's just whatever happened.
yeah.
No stories you are this or that way and like your father or mother or just and yeah, not good times and bad times like the same like you described here was also this kind of cycle like good times and bad times and we were like talking about 10 years or more that if we are next year in the same place that we are both unhappy like we are now but we try to work on this relationship then we broke up and we did it like 10 years in a row like then we broke up so I think every other maybe have good broken up this relationship but somehow here it didn't happen so it was like clear thing here that there is no free will or choice to choose. There was always some kind of deep love. I don't know what was this, and this pulled us together. But no one was doing it. No one chose to be this, to do these all these therapies and everything. Like oh, in a story, whatever.
It's amazing. Yeah, this like somehow the two people stay together in spite of sort of all of the
difficulties.
I don't know, it's amazing. Yeah.
And we didn't do it because we have children. We didn't have this kind of story that when our child is grown up, then we broke up finally. Let's grow this child up, and then this story also didn't hold us together, but somehow we stayed together. And before this communication arrived here, and Era was in this spiritual path, I remember that I was letting him go. I even wrote it down. I love you so much that if you feel better without me, it's okay. I let you go. I really felt that it's total letting go, no holding on. And it was a little bit like this unconditional love that I wasn't doing, but it was happening by itself. And now whom I have a goosebump, there is a relationship seemingly, but no one is owning anyone, and no one having a relationship. But it seems like there is, and with daughter and with mother also, and other ones. They seems to continue what is meant to continue. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. It's just so amazing how much power we think that we or I has until it's seen that this has always been playing out on its own without any central controller. It's amazing what freedom and what horror that could be, because wow, there's no control. So it can be felt both ways, like terror and or relief, or maybe both. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember when here was this feeling of losing control. I felt empty in my stomach. All this part of my body was empty, like I had big hole, and it was felt like someone was grabbing children the favorite toy away, like very like I was holding some toy and someone was grabbing it, and I was a child. It was some kind of that kind of feeling when here was this realization or whatever that I don't have any control. I was losing the best joy I had, the control of life, the control of my life, whatever. It was yeah, devastating for a short time, very short time. Then it was gone. Yeah, but when you are losing everything that you knew, everything, it's beautiful also.
Yeah.
Should we stop? I think we have talked about 1 hour.
Yeah. Wow.
And
Wow.
although
Yeah.
I could talk with you hours and hours, I think we did one-on-one also in this summer or spring, and we talked 2 hours, I think.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. Amazing how much you could talk about nothing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, something just came to mind. This just like that even when there's like conflict, in relationship, or this, even when there's like, say, something seems to really play out with some conditioning where I'm like, "Rah," and he's like, "Rah," there's this is not a denial, because there's still deep sadness. I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels fully, in a way, devastating if there is that hurt there, or that like, you know and somehow that sadness does feel like love. And but it doesn't take the pain or the sting of it away. The same with like if I yell at the kids or something like that. The heartache of it doesn't change. Just the owning it, I guess, you know, the heavy of it, but it's still an ache. It's still this ache. And maybe even there's a story that, oh, maybe next time I won't. But no, who knows? Maybe there's growth still. I don't know. It seems to be that happens, but only if you kind of try to track it in a way, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, but no story that it shouldn't be like this. I shouldn't feel like that. This feeling can arise, this headache, no heartache,
Yeah.
but it just is.
Yeah.
And these feelings are quite strong, and it's allowed to feel fully. They are fully felt. All this sadness or this pain here. Nothing wrong with anything. And even this thought that maybe next time there is no. This is unconditional love arising like this, like, or freedom. Anarchy, chaos. Nothing. This. Nothing and everything. And it is beautiful. I have watched myself like lying on the couch in really pain, and even this have been beautiful. Just fucking pain, but no stories. Like, why me? And then it's gone. Came from nowhere, and no diagnosis, whatever this body have been through, and then it's gone.
Shock.
Shock. I thought, what was the word? I am as good as Tia speaking English. We can do next talk. Talking about socks and let's do that. Okay, lovely Nikki. Thank you very much for that.
This was wonderful. Love you, love you.
Love you, love you. Bye.
Bye.